This is the smallest instance of BeamNG Drive running on a computer that literally fits in my pocket that you can find online for as little as $35. And just to show you guys that this is actually BeamNG Drive, I'm just gonna crash the car. Now you might be wondering, how is this running on something so tiny? And where's the graphics card? In this video, I will answer all those questions and tell you what and where to buy the same things to make this same computer. And I will tell you how you can play BeamNG Drive on it, use Scratch, and use an offline AI. So let's get right into it. About a year and a half ago, while searching for programmable devices, I came across this thing called a Raspberry Pi. It is a computer that is literally the size of a credit card, literally, and it's fully programmable. So when I saw this, I was like, I like programming, so I'm gonna buy it. So this is the first part of the computer, the main part, the computer itself. But the next thing it requires is a micro SD card. So I had a micro SD card and it was a cheap one, so it made the computer itself super duper slow. So I would recommend, if you're buying this, to get a high quality micro SD card. So the next thing on the list is a screen. So the first screen I had was really bad, but it advertised that it was good. So there are a lot of screens that are for this computer, and many of them aren't really good. I've tried 3 different ones. So the screen that I have now is the WaveShare 4.3-inch touchscreen, and it is really good because it doesn't actually connect into the pins, it connects into the display port. And I will talk about that later. It's really important that you get this specific screen because it comes with a case. The last part is the battery. There aren't a lot of batteries that were made for the Raspberry Pi, but I found a power bank that fits nicely and snugly into the case, and it's perfect. This is the Skull Candy Stash Fuel, and it can give enough power to power the computer. And it's really nice because the battery lasts a long time. So adding all the things to the cart, it totals up to $97 without the computer. You see, there are a lot of different options for the computer. So 1 GB for $35, 2 GB for $45, 4 GB for $65, and 8 GB for $85. I would recommend getting the 8 GB or the 4 GB. I have the 8 GB because this is really good for offline AI, BeamNG Drive, or Scratch. So if we open up the case by unscrewing the 4 screws, we can find the Raspberry Pi connected to the screen. So I kind of changed up the way that the Raspberry Pi is screwed to the screen, because whenever you get it, there's like a screw that you screw it in that kind of lifts up the Pi from the screen. But I wanted it to be more closer to the screen so that the battery would have more room. So you might have to cut out some holes inside of the case. But you can always just keep it the way it is and use an external battery. That's what I was doing for some time. The other thing I liked about this screen is it doesn't connect into these pins. So these pins, because this thing is very programmable, people have made things that can plug into the pins and then you install a driver. So you can put things on the pins, like for example an audio port or a fan or some sensors. So you can basically add anything to this. The battery fits nice and perfectly onto the Raspberry Pi, but I did have to remove one of the screw ports. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the software. So it runs Raspberry Pi OS, which is a Linux. So you will have to install everything through a terminal. But there actually is an app store that someone made called Pi Apps. You can visit their website on how to install it, and once you have it, you can just search the app and then click install. So one thing the Raspberry Pi is popular is running AI offline. So if you install Ollama GUI and click on settings, you can view all the models that you have. And so you can paste in a link to the model and you can automatically download the model. So you can run models like ChatGPT or Grok or any open source model. I have a model called Small LLM. It's super small, so it runs really fast. So if I type what is the capital of France, you can see how fast it responds. But because it's small, it does hallucinate, so make sure to pick your models wisely. With this, you can also install apps like TurboWarp or Scratch, so I use this on the go whenever I'm trying to code, and it's really useful. So because this is such a different Linux, you can't directly install BeamNG Drive onto it. But NVIDIA has a product where you can play BeamNG Drive inside of your browser, and it's free and unlimited. So I have a video on this, and if you use the same method, it works exactly the same. Basically, if you go into your browser and search up NVIDIA GeForce Now, and you click on the first website that pops up, which is NVIDIA's website, you can scroll through the page until you find a button that says Join Now. And then you can link up your Steam account, and then you will be able to play BeamNG Drive without having good GPU or CPU. Okay, now is the walkthrough through the setup. So the first thing you want to do is get your microSD card and stick it into your computer. Then you're going to want to search up Raspberry Pi Imager, so then you can upload the software onto the SD card. After it's done uploading, you're going to put the SD card inside of the Raspberry Pi. Now it's time for the screen. When you get the screen, it comes with these little mini screws. Usually they go right here to screw into the Raspberry Pi, but you're going to want to put them on the other screws on the edge, because this makes the screen more higher up so the battery can fit. Also, you shouldn't use the bottom left pin or else it won't fit in correctly. Once you're done with this, you can screw the Pi onto the screen. The next thing to do is to connect the display cord so that the screen will work with the Pi. It should look like this whenever you're done. So now if we get the battery, we can put it on top and see that it fits. So we're going to want to put the side that it plugs into on the same side as the USB ports. So it's going to be facing this way with the percentage facing the bottom, so we can also tell how much percent the battery is. Now before you go ahead and screw it in, just put it in and then you'll see that the ports do not line up. This is where you will have to cut away some of the case to make the ports fit. So as you can see, I cut away some on the bottom, some on the sides, so that the ports would fit. Then you can screw the screws in, and after that you can connect a wire from the battery to the Pi. Thank you for watching this video. You now have a little mini multifunctional computer. If you decided that you want to build one of these and you have any problems, just comment your problems in the comments and I will help you. I've had this thing for 1.5 years, so if you have any questions you can also comment them, and if you know anyone else who might be interested in this video, you can share it. Make sure to subscribe because these videos take a lot of effort, and I'll see you in the next one.